This moment, that's so cool. Look at that. And the timing of this lightning bolt is so perfect. Hey everyone, I'm back with another reaction today. I'm actually doing something really exciting, something I've been planning for some time. I am going to take a look at Lorna Shore's Pain Remains Trilogy. I'm quite familiar with Lorna Shore at this point. I think in a large part because of Will Ramos. And it's been exciting to kind of see his journey with charismatic voice and also like all the stuff that he's been doing for science. So it's we're intimately familiar with him and his throat and everything at this point. But something that I also really appreciate about Lorna Shore is that their videos are just really cool. And so especially with the Pain Remains trilogy, they really went all out and did something very cinematic, very narrative. And I love that. And for as far as I know, Will has a bit of a background in filmmaking. I believe that before he got into music, he was also pursuing a film. I'm not 100% sure. This is what I read somewhere, and I haven't actually found out too much about it. So please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know actually if there's any BTS of this. So if there is, I would love to see that. Please link below. So I'm going to record these as, back to back to back. And then I'm going to put these on YouTube separately, but you'll be able to watch the full thing on my Patreon. So if that's something you're interested in, you can find my Patreon below. So without any further ado, let's get into Lorna Shore's Pain Remains 1, Dancing Like Flames. All right, before the music starts for real, let's take a look at this because it's a beautiful opening. Very slow, very sort of atmospheric and a little melancholic. So we really set the tone with the opening shots, which is this beautiful, super close up of this guy's eye. And he is in the dark here, so he's concerned, This is some of the body language here. In the background here, we see the rain dripping. It's a beautiful bokeh here with him in the foreground, and the raindrops on the window are really kind of blurry here and very stunning. Very beautiful. And the lighting is kind of harsh on his face. It's very pale. And we just see his eyes and the eyebrow hair. It's a great shot. The tone is set so well. And what I love here is, if I remember correctly, this video is about him losing his wife. Spoiler alert. But we can already see here how that is foreshadowed with him being in this space, which is probably like a waiting room in the hospital. Maybe it's very dark. It's very blue, which is also like a typical hospital color. And he's wearing and we really have a shot here of his wedding ring really clearly too. So it's these subtle kind of ways that we're able to learn a little bit about what is going to happen in this story. So then we go to the scenes with his wife. We have a 180 opposite in terms of color. Here it's very warm toned. We're in the yellow orange kind of space, which is sort of polar opposite to the blues. Really gorgeous. He's now feeling safe. He's at home. This is, you know, his warm place, and waking up in the morning. And what I also kind of love is that the band actually, this is the first we see of the band, they're purple, which is kind of clearly like the third thematic color here, looking very pretty. So it's very clear that we have these three separate storylines. And then right as the music starts, this epic chapel or whatever, that they're in a church, like very gothic looking, beautifully lit with these purple, bluish purple lights. Really cool, very fitting. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go slightly back and let's continue watching. What's really cool also is that it's not just the purple in the church, but they also have this separate setup for the band, which is sort of intercut in between, is where, and it's a little unclear at first that this is happening, but they have them in front of probably like a green screen. It's very dark, but they have these lightning flashes going on in the background, which is a little bit of the similar color as the purple that we see in the church, but they're also being rained on. So that kind of links it back to the guy being in the room with the raindrops on the window. And I really, really like that sort of link to the story, because sometimes where the band is performing can be so tonally different from everything else that's happening. It's really nice when they try to incorporate that into the narrative of the video as well. So we're really setting up this story of these two people that are clearly very much happy and in love, and everything's warm and everything is, you know, it's almost sugary sweet. So this could have been their engagement photo shoot. You know, it's really, really sweet, especially here with the sunshine. It's like, it's so tonally different from all of the other segments of this video. It's like you have this girl here and they're just like also moving in slow motion, as you know, most of them are. So we really have this moment where they're really happy. And I love how well it goes with the music, how, you know, the timing wise, and they're really like, they're dancing, they're turning, and this is all slow motion. It all feels very sort of mellow. It's so opposite from the music, right? I think it's kind of cool that they did that. And then we keep cutting back to that moment where he is in that other room, and so they really build up like the tension of, oh my gosh, what's happened? I'm curious to see how they deliver on that story in like the episode 2 and episode 3. or part 2 and part 3, depending on, you know, how you prefer to call them. But it's kind of cool how stylistically different they are. Also, this shot, I guess, not quite as subtle, but they keep cutting or showing the wedding rings, right? So they really want to drive home the fact that these two are already married, they're very happy, very much in love, etc. Again, they're beautiful shots though. Like the sunlight here is just very soft. It's clearly like golden hour out, and so it's very nicely done. Oh, I love that. The moment where they had this moment. That's so cool. Look at that. And the timing of this lightning bolt is so perfect. Excellent. That's great timing. He seems like he has such great stage presence too. Like I haven't seen him live yet, but it's really the performance always seems really big. And then we're also seeing into their house for the first time. Like we have this this set here. Again, we're getting that really sort of homey vibe. They're really so cozy, cuddly. It's a very wide angle. It's an interesting choice, almost a little jarring. So we see a lot of the room. Beautiful solo, beautiful progression in the song. Like we're in this intense moment and then it slows down, and it really fits with the story as well. It's like we're in this more sort of, you know, it's now revealed that his wife is in the hospital and it's not going well, and they have this moment together. And yeah, so this was clearly the room that we saw him in earlier. and the window was always like the window with the so the window with the so the window with the raindrops is also just really metaphorical for how he's feeling, right? So it's really kind of beautiful how they, you know, wove that theme throughout. So this again is like a really wide angle shot. We see a lot of the room. They feel small. And I guess maybe that's what they're trying to do, is make these people, or him at least, feel like really small and insignificant within the scope of what's happening, which can feel so big and overwhelming. So in terms of like the narrative language here, I think that's really cool. They shot it sort of like from the ceiling down. So we even see quite a bit of ceiling here. And it feels, despite it being like we see a lot of the room, it still feels claustrophobic. Like it's hard to be there and you actually want to get out, but you still want to be there, you know what I mean? If you've been through something like this with a family member, like I have, my dad, right? It wasn't my partner, thank God, but it's so tough. And yeah, I think if you've gone through this, you can definitely relate to those feelings. Love him in front of this window here. That's really beautiful. I don't know if this was in front of the green screen or if this was actually in that church or chapel, because this is looking really spectacular in terms of the lights and these rays coming out. It's really cool. Oh, the shot of the single tear here is also just really beautiful. I love how much we're like looking over his shoulder, and it's kind of a close-up of her face, so it feels like we're right there. It's really intimate. It's such a jarring ending. So in the next couple days, I'm going to be uploading the second part of this reaction. On Patreon, you will be able to find the full thing. So check it out if you want to watch the whole thing in one go. It's a really beautiful video. And what I'm noticing now is that actually Adam D'Amico, the lead guitar player, actually wrote the script for this. So that's pretty cool. I love that when a band is actually also involved in the filmmaking process. And I think that's always really nice, because then you know you're really getting the band's intention for this song, right? And in this story. So really, really wonderful. All right, so look out for the next part of this trilogy coming soon. So please subscribe if you haven't yet, and join me for the next one. Peace.